Hello, I'm Martin Smith and this is your UFX Markets Week in Review. Today we'll cover some of the major events of the past week and discuss how they impact the global currency markets. The Japanese yen strengthened against the US dollar after the Bank of Japan held back from expanding monetary stimulus to devalue the currency. The US dollar decreased against the major currencies as weaker growth in the USA led to speculation about further lending by the Federal Reserve at its policy meeting next week. The Federal Reserve reported last week that output at factories, mines and utilities decreased 0.1% last month, after a revised 1% gain in April. Manufacturing, which makes up approximately 75% of total production, decreased 0.4% last month. The Japanese yen was last trading at the level of 78.69, a decrease of minus 0.81%. The euro increased against the US dollar for a second week before the Greek election is held this weekend, which will determine whether or not Greece will remain in the Eurozone. The vote will centre on whether Greeks are willing to accept austerity measures that will allow them to stay in the euro or reject bailout conditions and risk the consequences of leaving the 17-nation currency. The 17-nation currency increased on speculation that central banks would be willing to provide aid to financial markets after last week, when Spain became the fourth member of the Eurozone to seek a bailout. The euro was last seen trading at the level of 126.41 against the US dollar, an increase of 0.7%. The British pound rose on speculation the Bank of England will purchase more government debt to support the economy. The Governor of the Bank of England presented joint steps with the Treasury to increase credit to banks in the UK, saying the argument for further stimulus is growing. The Bank of England's liquidity plan would be to inject at least £5 billion a month into the financial system. The British pound was last trading at the level of 157.14, and that is an increase of 0.99%. In commodities now, gold traders are bullish for a fourth week in a row as the debt crisis in Europe continues to disrupt markets. Even though gold traders are more bullish, gold remains 16% below the record of $1,923 an ounce reached on September the 6th. Gold was last trading at $1,627 an ounce, which is an increase of 0.23%. Oil increased on speculation that central banks will take more steps to boost global growth as investors wait for the results of the Greek elections this weekend. There's heightened speculation that leaders of the group of 20 nations will announce measures to combat a global economic slump when they meet next week for talks in Mexico. Oil was last seen trading at the level of $84.33 a barrel, an increase of 0.13%. Well, that's all we have time for today. I hope you've enjoyed this week's review and you'll join us next week. Until then, be sure to visit us at ufxmarkets.com for all of your online trading needs. For UFX Markets, I'm Martin Smith. Good luck and happy trading.